David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and now Victor Wembanyama. The San Antonio Spurs have struck gold again, winning the 2023 NBA Draft Lottery, and now have the right to draft generational prospect Victor Wembanyama, who has been regarded as the best prospect in the history of team sports. The plan worked for the Spurs, and I called it 9 months ago on this channel. The Spurs were playing chess, not checkers, all along. The San Antonio Spurs drafted David Robinson first overall in 1987, drafted Tim Duncan first overall 10 years later in the 1997 NBA draft, and now will draft Wemby first overall in the 2023 NBA draft. The Spurs have had the ultimate drafting luck. One rival scout had said this before the Spurs won the lottery on Tuesday night. F that. Those guys have gotten enough luck already. They already got Tim Duncan and David Robinson. Being able to draft the 3 best center prospects of the last 35 years would be some BS, close quote. That scout's really going to be pissed off now. What's going on, everyone? It is Luca here, back with another video. In this one, I'm going to be talking about Victor Wembanyama on the San Antonio Spurs, why it's a perfect fit, and why they are the NBA's worst nightmare. If you guys do me a solid favor, hit a like on the video. It does help it a ton. And please subscribe to the channel for more Spurs and NBA content just like this. Greg Popovich started his head coaching career with Robinson and will likely end his Hall of Fame coaching career with Victor Wembanyama. The 7'4" center will be joining a young core group of Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Tre Jones, and Jeremy Sochan, all 23 years old or younger. Wembanyama has lived up to all of the hype leading up to his career in the NBA and currently leads all players in points at 21.6, rebounds at 10.5, and blocks at 3.1 in his current league. I'm trying to win a ring ASAP, Wembanyama said after it was revealed that the San Antonio Spurs landed the #1 pick and the right to draft him. It's so easy to see why Wembanyama has garnered all of this hype already. At 19 years old and 7'4", he's already bigger than nearly everybody in the NBA, and he is possibly still growing. But it's not just his height that is menacing. He does things on a basketball court that we've never seen before. He can get his own missed three-point shot for a putback dunk, score at will, and dribble past opponents like a player half his size. So you add Victor to this young core, and the Spurs will also have draft capital, cap space, and Greg Popovich. There's plenty of reason why a star or two may want to team up with the Spurs. The Spurs could be very good sooner than you think. The projected starting lineup as of now for the Spurs is Tre Jones at the 1, Devin Vassell at the 2, Keldon Johnson at the 3, Jeremy Sochan at the 4, and Wembanyama at the 5. That lineup on paper looks so scary defensively. Jones is a tenacious point of attack defender that can really disrupt an opposing team's offense. You look at Vassell, he had a breakout year last season as he averaged a career high just about everywhere and looks like he can be a part of the Spurs young core moving forward. And then you look at Johnson, he was the only player to average 20 points or more on the Spurs last season, and now he's going to take a step back and be more of a second or third option with Wembanyama coming in, who's obviously going to be the main focal point of this offense. And then you look at Sochan, he has so much potential at only 19 years old. And then you got Greg Popovich, who will be the head coach of the great Victor Wembanyama. And honestly, this is the perfect situation for Wembanyama to start his career. The future Spurs superstar will be coached by arguably the best coach in NBA history and a Spurs organization that is well run and has an extremely loyal fan base. The Spurs' last 2 first overall picks turned out great as they landed David Robinson and Tim Duncan, so there's a great chance Victor Wembanyama will follow suit. The Spurs are one of the most reliable, successful teams in basketball. They're the most successful regular season team of all time by winning percentage, and they have 5 championship wins, which is the 5th most titles in NBA history. And unlike some of the other franchises, much of the Spurs' success is relatively recent. They're the winningest team of the 21st century. This Spurs organization knows how to get it done. They know how to win at a high level. So there's no doubt in my mind that the Spurs will be a team to be reckoned with soon enough with Victor Wembanyama leading the charge. The Spurs are going to get the most out of Wembanyama, and I know Wembanyama is excited to join this great organization. Wembanyama and the Spurs will ultimately be a perfect pairing. Wemby will get the most out of his potential on this amazingly run organization and coaching staff, and Wemby will change things in San Antonio forever with his sheer presence and skill. I mean, you look at what Wembanyama means for the San Antonio Spurs already. The offense on this team will be immediately better. The defense will be better. The Spurs now have potentially the next face of the league on their team. The Spurs are now going to get primetime games again. Local businesses are going to thrive. The culture will be reset and reestablished here. The Spurs will once again become an attractive free agent destination. The fan base will grow with Wembanyama being an overseas superstar. The Spurs will be able to further stack their championships with Wembanyama leading the way. And the Spurs will add another potential Hall of Famer 20 plus years from now when Victor Wembanyama's career is over. There's so much to be excited about if you're a Spurs fan. At times, it looked like this team's future was in question after missing the playoffs for the last 4 years. And when they traded their best player at the time in DeJounte Murray, people wondered when the San Antonio Spurs would be relevant again. Well, one ping pong ball later, and the Spurs are beyond relevant at this point. They will have the biggest freak of nature on this team. But as we know, talk is cheap. Now it's time to show the world just how scary Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs can actually be. My prediction is better days are coming soon for the Spurs franchise, and I really think Wembanyama on the Spurs is going to be a home run. Victor Wembanyama is going to be as advertised, and you know the San Antonio Spurs are going to put him in the best situation where he can succeed and get the most out of his untapped potential. So this is just an amazing moment for the San Antonio Spurs and their fan base. I mean, Victor Wembanyama, man, it was said that the San Antonio Spurs knew what they were doing by strategically tanking and setting themselves up to land this generational talent. And here we are, Spurs winning the lottery, and now they will have the right to draft Victor Wembanyama. And you know the Spurs are nowhere close to being done. They can reconstruct this thing. They got money to work with. They got other draft picks. The San Antonio Spurs were in the NBA gutter over the last couple of years, and this team is ready to once again rise and show the NBA world who they are. So do not underestimate what the San Antonio Spurs can do and what they can do in the near future. I mean, a lot of people are thinking, okay, this is obviously going to be a 3 to 5 year plan. If San Antonio plays their cards right and Victor Wembanyama comes out of the gate swinging, I mean, this can be a quick turnaround for the San Antonio Spurs, and the San Antonio Spurs can be very good very soon. So we will see how everything shapes up. I cannot wait to see Victor Wembanyama play for the San Antonio Spurs team and step foot on an NBA court. We're going to have to wait a little bit of time to see that, but in the meantime, all we can do is speculate. So that is just my take on this, guys. How do you think Victor Wembanyama is going to look with the San Antonio Spurs? Do you think this is going to be an amazing fit for both sides? And do you think the San Antonio Spurs are going to be scary good once again with Victor Wembanyama as the main guy there to build around? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Drop a like on the video, guys, and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. That is it for me. This is Lucas signing off. Thank you so much for your continued support, and I will catch you all again in the next video.